Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
I disagree with his letter entirely. And I'm not so much concerned with the way it was written as I am concerned about its content.
The Attorney General fires back. Senator Nicholas fails to get any support from his colleagues on Resolution 76.
Installments. He received pushback from fellow lawmakers on session floor this afternoon.
And Guam mourns the loss of former lawmaker Sonny Orsini. Half a day and good evening.
She's firing back. The Attorney General of Guam saying she disagrees with the accusations the Speaker made against her this week.
Claims that she was breaking the law when one of her employees was getting double incentive or bonus pay. Here's more from our interview with AG Elizabeth Barrett Anderson today. It was all sparked by a scathing 4-page letter from Speaker B.J. Cruz.
I disagree with his letter entirely. And I'm not so much concerned with the way it was written as I am concerned about its content.
Speaker Cruz accused Attorney General of Guam Elizabeth Barrett Anderson of breaking the law by providing incentive or bonus pay to an employee of her office that was not entitled to it. But the Attorney General today expressed her dismay as well, defending her employee and the actions of her office.
Its impact on an employee of this agency. This is my family, and I'll tell you, I'm going to fight hard for any member of this office. The statute previously, in my opinion, 1, allowed for multiple certifications, and 2, included the Attorney General's office even if it wasn't specifically stated.
Barrett Anderson says it was only in March of this year her office learned of the change to the law that government employees would not be allowed to get multiple incentive pay. She took the issue to the Department of Administration, and in June, around the same time she went before lawmakers, says she was in the process of making the necessary change.
The Speaker was asking me personnel questions in an open public forum with the employees seated at the table there. I hadn't even had the chance to tell that employee that upon all the review of everything that the current statute would have taken one of the incentives. It was a personnel matter that I wasn't going to talk about without having spoken to the employee first. And so maybe it was just bad timing.
Ultimately, Barrett Anderson says nothing was done wrong, and she hopes that her employee sticks around despite this current issue.
Nobody was breaking the law. We were following the law, and when the law was changed, I was trying everything to do to protect the employee, but the law was very clear.
While the Speaker dukes it out with the AG, his colleague Senator Michael Nicholas is having his own verbal sparring match, but with Governor Eddie Calvo. On session floor on Tuesday, the Senator's Resolution 76 went up for debate. The measure would ask Congress to pay Section 30 monies in increments as opposed to the one lump sum payment at the beginning of each year. No one showed up for the public hearing on the measure in May, and the committee report lacked detailed feedback. The lawmaker blamed it on
politics really just gets in the way of us doing what's right. If I don't toe the line with what the administration wants me to do, they're not going to have their directors come down and testify for the measures that I introduce. Or they will make sure they come down and testify negatively for the measures that I introduce.
Governor Eddie Calvo agreed it was politics and perhaps the senator's need for attention.
I'm hoping the senators see for what it is. I think it's all political in nature. I don't know what I guess he's trying to get a headline out of it.
Section 30 monies are income tax paid by the military here and its contractors. The funds are used to the government's debt service and other priorities when deposited in the general fund. Nicholas says by spreading out the payment of Section 30 monies, it would ensure funds are available throughout the fiscal year. The governor, on the other hand, says this sends the wrong message to the feds that we can't manage our finances.
It will make us a laughingstock of the nation. And again, I don't know where he comes up with these harebrained ideas, but this is just another harebrained idea by Senator Nicholas.
Meanwhile, according to the committee report, none of his colleagues recommended passage of Resolution 76. The resolution failed to get enough votes to be adopted by the body during session late today. It received 13 noes and 1 excused absence. Senator Nicholas was the only one to vote yes. Well, while senators didn't adopt Resolution 76, they passed other measures, including Bills 117 and 118. Both are authored by Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee and together extend unpaid job-protected leave to grieving employees. If Bill 117 is signed into law by the governor, the Guam Family and Medical Leave Act will include bereavement as a qualifying event for which an employee can seek time off from his or her employer.
Now that the government has rested their case, it's defense's turn to present evidence to prove Dr. Michael Ellert's innocence. The psychology professor stands accused of digitally penetrating 3 women at a party held at his house. More partygoers and former students on the stand today, recalling events that occurred nearly 3 years ago. More statements from party-goers. 29-year-old Ray Chaco on the stand today. Though he wasn't a student of Dr. Michael Ellert, Chaco said his girlfriend, Chanel Ramiro, was. On November 1st, 2014, the couple arrived late to Ellert's Ipan home. By then, the party had moved to the nearby beach. He'd never go into the water, but from the shore, he could see and hear.
Was anybody horsing around?
Yes.
Who was horsing around that you could tell?
Scott. There was a few girls that are piggybacking each other.
What else?
They're just playing, they're so loud and sound like they're having fun.
He also heard.
Did you ever hear anybody scream out loud?
Yes.
What did you hear?
The touched my ass.
Though Ellert was visible in the water near his accusers, Chaco said he could see other men in close proximity too. He and his girlfriend would take one of those girls to a gas station and away from the party. There, FR stated she had been touched.
She was talking about someone touching her. She said she believed it was Dr. Ellert, but she's not sure.
Okay.
So I was just trying to calm her down because she was crying.
Did she say anything about her vagina?
No. She just said someone touched her.
Touched her where?
On her.
Chaco had never met Ellert prior to the party that night. On the stand to vouch for the psychology professor's character, defense called on psychology graduates Regis Regis and Tamara Minglotnia, both who were seasoned attendees of Ellert's house parties.
Dr. Ellert, as a professor, was very professional, knowledgeable.
Dr. Ellert was firm, very firm, strict, and complex. He never gave answers, the way I perceive, he never gave answers. He forced or encouraged students or just people to think.
Prior to the November 2014 party, Minglotnia testified to seeing alleged victims KP and HR flirting with Ellert on campus outside the classroom. Minglotnia stated Ellert walked away from the girls, and judging by their body language, the females were obviously disappointed. Ellert is accused of digitally penetrating 3 women, only to be identified as KP, FR, and HR while in the water that night. Ellert maintains he didn't touch anyone. Had he touched one or more of the women, defense argues it was accidental and may have been a result of his reach while swimming. Trial will resume on Thursday. Recently unsealed in the District Court of Guam, details of a drug bust made at the airport over a year ago. Erlinda Lizama Regis was arriving from the Philippines when she was busted with illegal carry-on items hidden in her rectal cavity. Court documents state a drug dog alerted authorities to Regis, who eventually expelled 3 purple balloons containing close to 200 grams of the drug ice. Island leaders are mourning the loss of a friend and colleague who passed away just yesterday.
Tonight, we pay tribute to Sonny Lujan Orsini, as many share what they remember most about the former senator. Valerie Maige has more.
He was a beloved businessman and public servant, dynamic and vibrant. Senator Angel Sonny Lujan Orsini was only 25 when he was elected into the 23rd Guam legislature, making him the youngest candidate to become senator.
And Guam has certainly lost a statesman and a wonderful individual.
Senator Frank Uggan Jr. says Senator Orsini was more than just a colleague he worked with more than 2 decades ago.
Then Governor Ricky Berdali was the individual that called everyone together. And he singled out Senator Sonny Orsini at that time. And he was a young ripe age of 20. And he pointed him out that he has a tremendous potential to be a very successful public servant.
4 years later, and Orsini would win his bid for public office. Gubernatorial candidate Josh Tenorio and Senator Will Castro say he has been a role model through the years.
One of the best things about him was his gift for communicating. He was an excellent speaker when he was on the campaign trail back in 1994, running and winning as the youngest person ever to the Guam legislature. He was very charismatic.
So he was definitely a beacon of inspiration for me, and someone I looked up to. But I got to tell you, I mean, he's loved by so many, and perhaps the greatest testament of just how extraordinary he was rests in just how much he's loved by the community.
Former Assistant Secretary of the Interior for Insular Affairs Tony Babauto worked with Orsini numerous times, helping each other through their respective campaigns. But more than anything, they were fast friends turned family.
I wholly admired him, how smart he was, how articulate and passionate he was.
Orsini was a graduate of GW High School and attended UOG and Bennington College. Juan Christian Guerrero spoke on behalf of his friends from Bennington, saying, quote, "Sonny always brought his most astute powers of curiosity even to the most elementary things, and in doing so exemplified how one of the best ways to understand the world is above all to befriend it," end quote. Before becoming senator, he interned with U.S. Senator Ted Kennedy and returned to Guam to work for Senators Elizabeth P. Arreola, Madeline Bordallo, and Carl T.C. Gutierrez. Orsini was also a successful businessman, barbecue master, and family man. He is survived by his wife and children.
And Speaker B.J. Cruz announcing today that Orsini's state funeral will be held next Friday at 2 p.m. at the Guam Congress Building.
We're back after the break.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment. No more long lines. And you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
This is Tabby. Tabby's service provider is IT&E. This allows her to walk on campus without having to rely on Wi-Fi.
Hey, Abby. Hey, I switched to the IT&E student plan just like you. I love how affordable their plan is. I'm so glad I switched to IT&E. What?
Get up to 5 gigs a month for just $30 and the first 3 months free at IT&E.
Hyundai's summer clearance event is happening now at Guam's best dealership, Cars Plus and Mighty. With financing as low as 1.99%. There's no better time to drive a new Hyundai Accent, ranked highest in initial quality, starting at just $11,995. Or the new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995. SUV lovers, check out the new Hyundai Tucson starting at $19,995. Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's our Hyundai summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Oh! Ruby Tuesday puts the O in dinner combos with Garden Bar Plus entrees for only $20.99. Choose salmon moco, petite sirloin, or pesto chicken pasta. Only at Ruby Tuesday. Oh!
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adahi Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Hidus Ma'asi, Matson.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
She was one of the most familiar faces in Guam for much of the mid-1980s through the 90s.
Former KUAM News Director and anchor Ginger Cruz is back on Guam for a short trip after almost 2 decades away. She paid a visit to us here at the station and caught up with former colleague Nestor Lecanto.
It was like old times again for Ginger Cruz when she walked into the studio in Harmon, which she just happened to help design.
It's funny because even though it's been almost 20 years, in some sense you almost feel like you never left.
Ginger left Guam in 1999 for Washington, D.C. and became a Deputy Inspector General for Iraq with oversight of expenditures. She says over the years she and her team would find billions of dollars in wasted spending. Ginger left federal service in 2012 to start her own consulting firm and returned to the Middle East, where she has resettled in Beirut, which she says reminds her of Guam.
It is because it's on the Mediterranean, so you still have the ocean, and I missed that when I was in the States. But the Lebanese people really love family as well. My husband is Lebanese American, so he's got a big family there. And you're also right in the center of everything.
Which works out well because she does a lot of work throughout the Middle East and North Africa. But she says she does miss home and hopes to find business opportunities here that will get her back more often.
Probably some of my best memories of Guam were like the old days when KUAM had the old station and we had the typhoons and the elections and the liberation coverage and kind of following in Madeline's footsteps back in the day. It's a special place. I mean, KUAM is a special place in my heart, and to see things the way that they are and to remember the adrenaline and the cameras turning on and being able to like share stuff with everybody, it really, you can't really describe it. It really is special.
Welcome back, Ginger. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Business owners can now pay their power bills with credit cards. GPA received approval from the CCU Tuesday to allow commercial accounts to use MasterCard debit and credit cards. GPA says it worked out a favorable interchange rate with the card company that will save it millions in transaction fees. GPA has over 5,000 commercial customers, and CCU Chair Joey Duenas says it's just good customer service.
We're making it convenient for our customer to pay and allowing him to ease of payment. Sometimes they don't have the money that month. Well, they use a credit card. That's fine.
No, they have to volunteer.
Also, at Tuesday's meeting, GPA management announcing a protest has been lodged against the first of two new solar power plant contracts. One of the losing bidders is challenging the award of a 60-megawatt deal to Korea-based KEPCO. The CCU had given tentative approval of power purchase agreements to KEPCO and another company, Hanwha, totaling 120 megawatts of renewable energy. Final approval has been tabled pending resolution of the protest.
In business news, Huntsman Family Investments and its affiliates announcing the closing of its acquisition of TeleGuam Holdings LLC, doing business as GTA, from Advantage Partners. The deal was recently approved by the FCC and the PUC. This means GTA, for the first time, is both locally and American-owned. President and CEO Paul Huntsman says this represents their commitment to take the company to heightened levels of growth on island in the region. GTA will continue to be locally managed and operated.
Well, I know at least a couple of expectant mothers and babies that can rejoice about this news. The bid is finally out for the long-awaited Guam Memorial Family Birthing Center project. Hospital Administrator Peter John Camacho saying officials are ready to rock and roll as the bid was finally announced Wednesday morning. The $9.2 million project will fund renovations and the state-of-the-art equipment for the labor and delivery ward, neonatal intensive care unit, nursery, and more.
Beautifying the island's public parks. Parks and Rec leaders and Governor DeCalvo cut the ribbon on the recently renovated Alupang Cove Park Wednesday morning. Officials repaired cracks on the pavilions, water blasted and painted, plus refurbished the guardrails and made electrical repairs. The renovations also include the installation of energy-efficient lighting. This is the government's effort to revamp public parks in Agate, Umatic, Asin, and Inarahan as well. The cost for the repairs at the selected parks is about $300,000.
Well, it's that time again to Think Green. Valerie Maige looks at a new fleet of electric cars that GPA used to save money while also saving the environment.
Here's more.
Think Green. Presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
The Guam Power Authority continues to roll out their Guam Energy Sense program in every sense of the word. Last week, you may have caught a glimpse of their sleek new electric vehicles at the Liberation Day Parade. GPA's Assistant General Manager for Engineering and Technical Services, John J. Cruz Jr., says there are only 2 vehicles now, but they'll soon be expanding their fleet, and in an effort to help lower costs, reduce emissions, and come up with smart energy solutions, they're encouraging customers to do the same and save some big bucks themselves.
There should be a savings not only in fuel but also in total cost of ownership, including the maintenance of the vehicle.
The 2017 Nissan Leaf is 100% electric and runs on a 30 kilowatt per hour advanced lithium-ion battery that stores and provides power for the motor. Cruz says some might have anxiety driving the electric vehicles because they're afraid there won't be enough charge to get them around. But a full charge gets you 200 miles, which is more than enough to get you around the island. The average American drives fewer than 37 miles a day with the maximum range of up to 107 miles. The Nissan Leaf takes you almost 3 times that distance on a single charge. In addition to its energy efficiency, the Nissan Leaf doesn't put out any emissions. The Nissan Leaf doesn't even have a tailpipe. The regenerative braking system captures energy while you coast or brake and recycles it right back to the power supply. Cruz says electric vehicles are up and coming and GPA is readying itself.
In order to take advantage of that change in paradigm, we need to build the infrastructure in preparation for that. And the first step of that is to replace our fleet.
Up next, Dave has the day in sports, but first, your island weather.
What can I say? My family was tired of seeing red from internet data caps. We switched to GTA and life is good again. Sure, it took a bit of time for some of us to adjust to our newfound internet freedom.
Don't turn off the show. How does it end?
Relax, honey. The data limits are gone. You can watch the whole show now.
But we're all happy with the change, and I think it's even earned me some cool points.
You rock, Mom.
That's right. It's getting lit up in here. How about that?
Okay. So I need to finish this homework now.
Okay, I'm done. My son, though, he's in the midst of a serious rebellion. Rebelling against an alien invasion, that is. Oh, yeah.
Free yourself. Switch to GTA Home Internet today. Truly unlimited with no data caps or additional usage fees.
My name is Koji Kichicho, and I'm a student at the University of Guam. UOG isn't what I thought it would be when I was growing up. When I was in high school, all I kept hearing was, you need to go off island. You can't do the things that you want to do here on Guam. There are no good opportunities here. I challenge those opinions. I am part of a generation that defies the idea that nothing big comes from a small island. My generation dreams and achieves. Many of the business leaders, public servants, teachers, nurses, artists, and thinkers that are now revitalizing our island came from UOG. Now, I'm looking forward to completing my homegrown education and going out into the professional world saying, I'm from the University of Guam.
I just picked up the cake for the baby shower.
Yay! You know she's having a boy, right?
Oh boy.
Buick now has an SUV for that. Introducing the new Buick Encore.
I knew I could trust you guys with the cake. No problem. That was close.
One of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick.
Now get $2,000 purchase allowance on the 2017 Buick Encore when you finance through GM Financial. Visit AutoSpot Buick today.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. The Guam Weightlifting Federation will be holding an open event this Saturday at CrossFit Chamarai in Tamuning. Anybody interested in joining, there are going to be 3 age groups with lift scores from the event being sent to the Oceania Weightlifting Federation for rankings. The Guam Weightlifting Federation is calling for all weightlifters to come out and take part in the GWF Open this Saturday at Chamarai CrossFit in Tamuning. The event is an Olympic-style weightlifting competition. Athletes will be competing in the snatch and clean and jerk. IWF rules will be observed during the competition, including dress standards. Entrance fee is $35 for non-GWF members, $10 for GWF members in good standing. Athletes who want to compete in the open event can contact the Guam Weightlifting Federation at guamweightlifting@gmail.com. Entries will be accepted on the day of the event. However, athletes will have to register at least 30 minutes prior to their weigh-in time. At 7 o'clock in the morning will be the women's weigh-in, 9 a.m., women's snatch, 10 a.m., women's clean and jerk, 9:30 a.m., men's weigh-in, 11:30, men's snatch, and at 12:30 is going to be the men's clean and jerk. There will be a 30-minute break between the women and men's events. There will also be 3 divisions as recognized by the IWF. Lifters' scores will be submitted to the Oceania Weightlifting Federation for ranking. WDI and Mid-Pac squared off last night for their Shirley's Basketball League matchup. Now in its 18th season, 55 teams in 2 divisions have a long season ahead, looking to walk away with titles in their respective division. Mid-Pac, playing without top scorer Irv Jose, kept the game close at the half, trailing 22-21. Jeff Manalastis with the pass to Jeff Pagaro, who takes it straight through the lane for his only bucket of the game. Patrick Titano with a good heads-up play. Titano comes up with a steal. Nice bounce pass up court to Manny Santos. Santos able to track the ball down and come up with the finish. 6 points for Santos. WDI slowing the game down, working the ball around. Pagaro drives and pulls up for the jumper. Quick dump-off pass to Gavin Neighborn down low. Neighborn, 2 dribbles, takes it up for the shot off glass. Chris Yuki scored 7 in the first half for Mid-Pac and finished the game with 20. WDI went on to win 50-42. Jeff Manalastis started off slow, but balled out in the second half, scoring 16 points. Malcolm Walker comes up with the rebound. Long outlet pass to Manalastis down court for the last score. Turning over to men's futsal, Mosas take the early top spot in the 2017 Budweiser Men's Futsal League rankings based on goal differential following all opening week matches at the Guam Sports Complex. Mosas is one of the new teams to the league and started off its season with an 11-6 win over the University of Guam Tritons. Matt Robles led all scorers with a double hat trick in the win. In other matches, Quality Distributors and the Bank of Guam Strikers settled for a 7-7 draw. Fook Liao led Quality with a hat trick. Islanders FC brought their 14-man army to take on the Crushers FC and won 6-4. Islanders player Noah Duenas led all scorers with a hat trick. The league's other 2 teams, Poppy FC and Napa Rovers FC, received byes. Week 2 play will begin at 5:30 this Sunday at the Guam Sports Complex. All right, anything sports, hit me up, sho@kuam.com. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
It's Nissan's Stay Fit sales event.
Fitness is important. Your Nissan service pros are like trainers for my car's fitness.
Now check out this heart racing deal on the Sentra, starting at just $96 per pay period. That's right, the 5-star safety rated Sentra starting at $96 per pay period. And your new car fit kit includes free service, free car washes, and your own personal fitness watch.
Keeping it fit and clean with free car washes leaves me more time to focus on keeping myself fit.
The Stay Fit sales event. Find out more at Nissan Upper Tumon or online at nissanguam.com.
Get 50% off right now on all appliances at Dial Rent-to-Own. Need a range? Get one right now for 50% off. Want an electric or gas range stove? We have both. We have in-stock refrigerators and freezers. Washers and dryers are 50% off too. We have only the best name brands at Dial Rent-to-Own. No matter what style you need, all appliances are 50% off. So why wait? Save at Dial Rent-to-Own.
You can't choose who sits next to you. But at least you can choose 2 of your favorites from McDonald's McPick 2 menu.
Let me get a McPick 2.
Choose any two at McDonald's for $3. A McDouble sandwich, a medium fry, or a medium drink. McPick 2 for $3 for a limited time.
My job is to protect. My job is to defend. My job is to be tough. That's why I train. That's why I need those who are tough around me. That's why I need a truck like this. Are you ready for a big boy truck?
America's best-selling truck for 40 years straight. When you're ready for a big boy truck, Triple J Ford is the place.
You need to get yourself a big boy truck.
Happy Liberation Day, Guam, from AutoSpot Buick GMC.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy 3rd birthday, Taysha Lay. Love Nina, Esther, Nino David, Enan James, and the family.
Happy 15th birthday, Noah Timinglow. Love Mom, Naya, Dante, Nana, and Tata.
And to the U.S. Army First Sergeant Dan Mendiola, turning 74, from your family, fellow vets, and former cadets.
Now remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Just register online on KUAM.com. Make sure to include your photo, your name, and your birthday.
And that's going to do it for us here on the News Desk, but stay tuned. Next is Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.